Hello, Grumpy Old Fart here. I do some stuff on unexplained phenomena, and the reason I do it is that the U.S. Navy had an incident that happened, and to go back to my video, UFOs evidently it'll explain all about it. Long story short, the Navy announced UFOs are indeed real, and if the UFOs are real, it adds a new dimension to some other things that we can't explain. We have to go back and look at this other stuff. There's a man named Eric von Daniken who started the ancient alien craze with his book Chariots of the Gods. If you haven't read it, go back and check it out. I talk about it in some of my videos. But if aliens have been visiting our planet for thousands of years, as he theorizes, then it would explain some other things that they're finding. They found in a carving of a bird in a tomb in Egypt, and this carving was brilliant. It wasn't a little figurine. I'm talking. It was it had wings. The wings were angled exactly right. And this carving's thousands of years old. Problem is that this carving of a bird has characteristics that are less bird and more glider, if that makes sense. The thing aerodynamically will fly. It initially did not have a rear stabilizer, but there was the back end of it had a vertical tail, and a spot at the top had what looked like a piece had been broken off. You add a vertical stabilizer there, or a stabilizer there, a horizontal stabilizer, and that thing flies. It flies just like a glider, just like a bird, like an airplane. Okay, it is aerodynamically sound. If a larger version of this existed, a person could climb onto it and have other people push it off of a mountain, and it would fly. It would glide for miles on the air currents. This thing is aerodynamically sound, and this was carved thousands of years ago. This isn't anything new. This is very old, but the fact that our ancestors did it is amazing. Now, that is just astounding, in my opinion. Okay, you could make a carving of a bird, and yeah, it may glide for a little bit, but there's not a bird that has a vertical rear tail fin like this. There's not a bird anywhere in the world that has that. But this thing had it. So, the other one that I wanted to talk about was found in Colombia. This thing is it's a gold figurine. And this thing it's triangular. And to look at it, it has upright tail fin and stabilizers. It looks like a modern jet fighter. If you haven't seen it, check it out. It looks like a modern jet fighter. It doesn't look like a bird. Okay. There was a man who built a scale model copy of this, exactly scale to scale but bigger, and he put an engine on it, a small jet engine, like a remote control airplane. That thing flies. It flies just like a jet fighter. It has lift and drag coefficients. It's got angles. The wings are set as an angle of attack to allow the air to push off and give it lift. It flies. The thing flies. It's a jet fighter carved out of gold. It's about yay big, I think, and it was found in a tomb. It's 2,000 years old. This thing was created around the time of Christ. For a frame of reference. So somebody walking around at the same time on Earth, at the same time as Christ, made this little figurine. It's of a jet fighter, and it flies. Okay? Now that the Navy has announced that these UFOs are real, you have to go back and look at Eric von Daniken's book with a whole new eye. And if you do that, this stuff takes on a whole new meaning. Maybe our ancestors saw the aliens flying around in vehicles like this. And if they did, our ancestors, humans are copying people. There's a, in the book, Chariots of the Gods, and you can see the video on YouTube, by the way. There's islands in the South Pacific where these little native tribes, during World War II, we built airfields out there. And we landed our airplanes because we were fighting the Japanese. Well, when we packed up and left, the airfields were still there. A few years later, you go back, and the natives have built straw totems of airplanes. Human beings copy what they see. Maybe they saw these things flying around. I'm just saying. Okay? You got another explanation for a 2,000-year-old jet fighter you find in a tomb? I'm just saying. You folks have a good day. God bless one and all.